Okay, so now let's say I want to have some categories. So I want to have a page only with sci-fi movies. So I'm going to go back to editor. And as you can see, we've got these links here. It even says films, TV shows, creative development. So what I'm going to do is create a new page. In fact, just to save myself some time, I'm going to click on this, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it onto a new page. And then I'm going to turn this into a link where it just says sci-fi. When you click sci-fi, it's going to take me to a new page. I'm just going to make this sci-fi. Actually, I kind of like how it has the description below. So I'm actually just going to connect this to my sci-fi movies. So I'm going to create another data set. Remember, I got to connect my page to the database. Creating that. And now this time, the difference is I'm going to create a filter. So I double click on this to go up to data set settings. And it's asking me for all these things. So what I want to do is add a filter. So I'm going to click add filter. Under field, which field do I want to filter? I want to filter the genre field or column. And then here it's all these things. Is, contains, starts with, ends with, is not. What does that mean? So condition is value sci-fi. Now in this value, it's really important that you type it the same way that it's typed in your database. Otherwise, it's going to get confused and it's not going to pull it the way that you want it to. I'm going to hit add, and then I can even add a sort. Like, how do I want it to be ordered? So I'm going to click add sort. And I'm going to sort it by year. So I'll choose year. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it by title, A to Z. So add. Okay, so now I'm going to connect this, creating the settings for it. So for the image, again, I want movie poster, title, title, and then description. I'm going to go with the year this time. All right, so now let's just change this to sci-fi. And then here I'm just going to say these are some of my favorite sci-fi movies. All right, so now let's hit preview. And what do you know? It only shows sci-fi movies. You'll notice it's cropping it in a way that I don't like. So one way I can fix that is just to adjust the window. I can go to settings. So these are all like wide images. So I could have a secondary image that's wide. That would be extra work, but that is one thing I could do. There might be an option. There we go. Thumbnail resize, I'm going to choose fit, and voila. This is what I want. So it says catalog sci-fi, these are my favorite movies. I can change that to something else. And then in terms of clicking on it, I could make it so that it goes to the IMDb page. I could have it so it goes to YouTube. I could have it so that it pulls up a video link. I mean, those are all sorts of other things that I can add. So now what I want to do is just connect to the sci-fi specific page from the home. So right here, I'm going to change these to categories. So sci-fi, romance, action, documentaries, and so forth. So I'm going to highlight this one specifically, and I'm going to link it to the catalog page, because that's where I had my sci-fi movies pull up. And then just stylistically, I'm going to change that to orange and get rid of that underline. So now, if I click preview, All right, so we got John's picks. This is a collection. You can see these are some of the top movies. And I could even make these, I could have another category making it like cover movies, like movies just to show on like the homepage. Or I have a checkbox that says homepage. So I'm going to click sci-fi. And there it is, sci-fi. So this is the whole purpose of having a database. It's so you can filter it and categorize it and organize it and do all sorts of really cool things. It makes it easier than having to organize these slideshows on every single page. So I hope, I could go a lot further with this. I could spend a lot more time. I could add tons and tons of movies, but this is the basics. Like at this point, it's just going to be repetition. So I hope that makes sense, and good luck with your websites.